my top 10. Gotta learn from the wise women and men. All my life, like na 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 na. For my top 10, top 10, top 10, na 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 na. This one's for my top 10.
Hey, it's Nina Carmichael. We made these videos probably because you are the most ambitious person in your circle. You know you're capable of more and you get that push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today let's learn from one of the best, my husband Evan Carmichael, and my take on his top 10 rules for success. Enjoy! Okay, rule number 1, take responsibility.
The single greatest thing that you can do to improve the quality of your life is to take responsibility for it. No more blaming your parents, or the country, or the government, or your family, or your community, or your education. No more blaming other people. It's you. It's you. It may not be your fault where you are right now, but it is your responsibility alone to fix it. You didn't pick where you started, but you can choose where you end up. It's up to you. So I remember growing up, my parents were very hardcore in education. You see my parents behind me here. I'm 8 or 9 here, these are my parents. And we were a middle-class family. We weren't poor by any stretch, but we also, we're not rich. And my parents invested basically everything they had into our education. They put us all in the private schools, and taking 3 kids into private schools was a giant chunk of the income that they made. And so we didn't spend money on a lot of other stuff. I remember driving into my school, and all of the friends, all the other people at the school had all these fancy cars that when they turn 16, they're given a Mercedes or BMW from their family. And my family had a Reliant K car that kind of made a bunch of noises as it came into the school that was, I don't know however many years old, just because my family prioritized education, and we were playing in a league that was maybe above our means. But they valued that so much, and then we took a hit on other things. And I remember I used to get made fun of for the car, and I never went on the vacations that they went on, and I didn't have the fancy watches and all that other stuff. And there was one friend of mine who was kind of in a similar boat, where his parents, weren't making a lot of money, invested everything that they had into his education too. And so we quickly became friends as I guess the poor kids at the school. But it's funny now because I never blame my parents. I'm super grateful for the opportunities. I mean, why I have them up on my wall, that they invested so much and that they cared. And it's on me. Like, if my business doesn't work out, it's not their fault, right? Up until, you can potentially move out. I don't know what age you want to say, if it's 14, 15, 16, 18, but after a certain age, you're an adult. You have to take responsibility for your life.
Rule number 2, build momentum.
The only thing missing in your life is momentum. You're a genius. You've got great ideas. You are the Michael Jordan of something. The only thing that is stopping you is your ability to do difficult things and start building momentum. I think for so many people, it's not just doing the thing that scares you first thing in the morning, it's doing it at all. Most people just don't do it at all. You've got a great idea. You know it can work, but you're afraid of judgment. You don't know where to start. You're afraid of it being not perfect and people telling you that you suck and you failing publicly. You're afraid of all that stuff, and so you don't do anything. You got your foot on the gas and brake at the same time, knowing that you're capable of more, knowing that you have greatness in here, but then being too afraid to go off and execute it. And so I think not just starting your day with the thing that scares you, just moving, doing something, anything, just getting started on your crazy idea. It's not that you're leaving it to the afternoon, it's that most people aren't doing it at all. So I was on a call with an entrepreneur friend of mine yesterday, and she was upset, she was frustrated. She had decided last year, mid last year, right, June, July last year, that she needed to let somebody go on her team. This person was being toxic in their environment, was still producing results for the company, but just being a big drag on the company, on the culture, and on herself as trying to lead this team of people. And so she decided, I gotta let this person go. It's 6-7 months later now, and she still hasn't done it. She still hasn't done it because she's afraid of maybe not finding the right person to replace, the impact of having to go through training and hiring all over again. And she just hasn't made the decision. The biggest problem is she has not decided. And so I said, when is this gonna matter to you? You decided, right, last year, 6, 7, 8 months ago, and you still haven't done the thing. And she said, well, If it gets to a year and I still haven't done it, then I have to go off and do it. And this is where your standards come into place. How long after you've made a decision do you actually start to do something about it? In her case, her standards were a year, in that she decided, but then a year later, that's when it's too much. That's when it's gone too far. That if she hasn't done it in a year, now it's too much. I want you to shorten that gap. Teach yourself that as soon as you decide, you do something, you act, you put the plan into motion, because you don't have that many years left. I look at her, you know, she's not old yet, she's not midlife yet, but you don't have that many years left. And this isn't even that big a decision. Whatever is in front of you is not actually that big a decision. There are much bigger decisions ahead. It may feel like a big decision. It may feel like it. But after you've done it and you get through it, you realize, I could do that again. And there's another bigger decision ahead. You need to shorten the gap between deciding that you want to do something and actually taking action towards it.
Rule number 3, learn from success people.
Who you spend time with is who you become. It's why I created this channel, so you and I can hang out with people like Warren Buffett. You may never meet Warren Buffett, but you can learn from him, you can be inspired by him, and you can change your life for the better by consuming this kind of content. I love modeling success because I learned from Bill Gates. Bill Gates was the first guy that I modeled success from. I had a software company, was struggling, was making no money. I told my partner I quit. And then I asked myself, somebody has done this before. I can't be the first person to try to build a software company. It can't be this hard. Please, somebody's figured this out. And the only person who came to my mind was Bill Gates, who started Microsoft. I hadn't been really that interested in reading. I hadn't been that interested in studying success. I was just trying to come up with ideas myself. And I was desperate, right? I told my partner I quit. I was desperate. I was at rock bottom. And so I said, somebody's figured this out. I can only think of Bill Gates and Microsoft. And so I studied his company and how he started, the 0 to 1, right? How did he make his first million? What did he do? And it was through partnerships. And I applied that strategy to my business. And shortly after, I had my first deal for $13,500. And I felt like I won the lottery. And after that, I had a pattern to use over and over and over again. And since then, it's been 20 years now of sharing that with you guys. It's been, for me, constant learning. It's the name of my channel, Modeling Success. It's why I have all these people behind me on the wall. It's why I make these videos every day. It's why I love learning from people like Warren Buffett and Steve Jobs and Kanye and Oprah and all these people, because they can shift you, because they shifted me. And the thing that they give you, at least for me, they give me, one, the inspiration, the motivation, the idea that look at what they started with. If they could start from there and end up at this new place, why can't I? You already have more resources than Bill Gates did when he started. You have more resources than Kanye did, than Steve Jobs did when they started. You're in a better position than they were. They went off to create amazing things. Go study Oprah's story and tell me that you're in a worse position than Oprah was when she started. You're not. You're not. And so it's inspiration. The other part is tactics, ideas, specific strategies, right? Bill Gates doing partnerships through distributorships, all of these things, learning from that and saying, hey, I can apply that to my business. Maybe not 100%, but it gets you 80% of the way. And instead of you figuring out the entire solution, you just have to figure out how to bridge that 20% gap at the end. It's much easier. It can lead to your success.
Rule number 4, be willing to work hard.
There is no longer any acceptable reason why you can't get the mentors that you're after and start winning. The opportunities that are in front of you right now did not exist for your parents, and it's only getting easier. But you still have to do your part. You still have to reach out. You still have to want it. It's actually less about winning the lottery and where you came from, and much more about how badly do you want it and how much are you going to put in to get after it. Because if you are willing to put in the work, you can beat out somebody with 1,000 times more resources than you. So every night I go on Twitch and I stream my League of Legends games, twitch.tv/BelieveTeam here. And there was a guy who joined me last night from the Philippines. So he's from the Philippines, and he says that his goal is to be a professional League of Legends player. And the challenge is there's not a big League of Legends scene in the Philippines. There's no professional teams. There's only one player right now named Dick Smithy, who's a jungler. Where did he go? He was jungler for Team Liquid. He signed with a new team. It escapes me right now. There's one person who was born in the Philippines who's a pro player right now and makes his living as a professional League of Legends player. This guy joins my live stream last night, and he says he's a support player from the Philippines, and that's his ambition. He's going to grind it out. He wants to get noticed. He wants to get picked up. He wants to be a professional League of Legends player. The crazy thing is, that's actually possible. It's actually possible for him to do it. It's actually possible for him to get training, for him to get mentorship, for him to reach out, for him to get in contact with people. Here he is. He's in the Philippines. I'm in Canada, and we're talking, and we're connecting on my live stream. It's actually possible. It wasn't possible even 10 years ago. Definitely not for his parents. You look at what his parents are doing, where they came from. You could have some dream, but at that time, the dream was probably just to come to North America, or just to have this one little thing that existed in the world currently, right? This limited mindset, because there were limited opportunities. But right now, the opportunities are insane. You have a thing called the internet. People didn't have it before. The opportunities are insane. You are competing against the world, which is bad for a lot of North Americans, but it's amazing for everybody who's outside, or amazing for anybody who's willing to work hard. It's not even bad for North Americans. It's bad for anybody who's lazy, who's slow, who's maybe had things handed to them. There's a lot of people in North America who had nothing handed to them, but they're willing to work hard. If you are willing to work hard, if you are willing to show yourself, it's never been easier to win. Justin Bieber got discovered on YouTube. You don't need to have a manager anymore. You don't have to go through the system. You don't want to, I got a publisher for my deal, but you don't want to have a publisher? Publishers reject you? Great, go off and self-publish. David Goggins did. Lots of people created #1 bestsellers just from self-publishing. You can bet on yourself if you're willing to work hard, if you're willing to put in the effort. It's never been easier to win. And so I look at this guy from the Philippines. It might be easier for me, right? Me sitting here in Canada, if my goal was to be a professional League of Legends player, sure, it might be easier for me. Sure, I might have more resources. Sure, I could afford coaching and go to tournaments and meet people. But it's also never been easier for him, because in the past, it would have been only available to me. Now, it's available to anybody. And if he has the heart and the hustle and the drive and the intention and the will to go off and do it every day, he can crush someone like me, even if I have 1,000 times more resources than him. And you can too.
If you want to have more confidence and motivation, check out our 254 series. The link is in the description below.
If you're doing work that you love, you're more likely to follow through. You're more likely to do it because it doesn't feel like work, because you love doing it.
Don't worry what the first step is. People write in and say, what's my first? It doesn't matter. Something. Do something, and then do something again tomorrow, and do something again the next day, and every day you get a little bit better.
They're great because they can help you, one, navigate the waters of dealing with publishers and creating a proposal that's really going to win, because you might only get one shot with a publisher, especially as a new author. And if your proposal sucks, they likely won't want to look at it again unless you've done something dramatic on your audience size to really build up notoriety around yourself.
Rule number 5, change your standards.
You are where you are in life and business because of your standards. It's just not important enough for you yet to hit that next level. For you, for me, for all of us, we've settled. We've settled for what currently is and haven't demanded from ourselves that we reach that next level. Change your standards, change your life. So I was recently talking to Alex on my team, and he helps me run Toronto Dance Salsa, the largest dance school for salsa in North America probably. And he recently went through this weight loss challenge, and he lost, I don't know, I want to say 30 pounds. And now he's sticking to this really thin line of between 150 and 155 pounds. That's his goal, that's his standard. When he's getting close to 155, he slows down on the eating, and when he's around 150, he has a little bit more, and he's constantly staying in this band because he set a new standard for himself. Even though he might have been 180 or 185 before, now anywhere close to 155 is going to be too much. Like, that's it. That's my new standard. That's the lowest I'm going to go, which is crazy high compared to what he was before. He's now trying to bring that same standard to his business. So what he's trying to do every day now is, if you follow him on Instagram, is he's posting at the end of the day how proud he is of the effort he put in. How proud is he of the effort that he put in out of 10? And sometimes you see it's 5.5, sometimes you see it's a 7, and every now and then it's an 8 or even a 9. How proud he is of the effort that he put in. This is now the area where he needs to raise his standards. And I was talking to him yesterday, and a big breakthrough that happened was, said, Alex, you lost 30 pounds, man, or more from your weight loss journey. Now, the idea of being over 155 is crazy when you used to be 180, right? Or 185, it's crazy. You need to take that same approach to your business, to your effort, that you're proud of yourself every day for what you're doing. Anything under 8 should be considered a cheat day. Anything under 8 is like you had a cheat day on your diet. Every now and then on his weight loss journey, he had a cheat day. He had a moment of weakness. He went for a giant pizza and a cake because he was starving and he couldn't control himself. But it was these one-off moments, right? It was like once every 3 weeks or something, and he continued down. That now needs to be your daily effort. If it's under 8, that's like you're eating cake and pizza. 8 needs to be the new waterline. That if you're getting close to it, it's like, holy cow, I need to work harder. I need to accomplish. I need to go off and do. Just like 155 now is that benchmark for himself. And putting into those terms made sense for him because he had higher standards now for himself in what he ate, in how he took care of his body, than he did for what he was doing to his business. And so it's the same thing for you. You want to grow, you want to get better, you want to improve, you have to raise your standards. You have to now not settle for where you're at, because where you're at's good. This is the problem. Good is the enemy of great, right? Where you're at's good, it's good. It's not amazing, but it doesn't suck, because if it sucked, if you hated it every day, you would have to find a way out. But because it's good, you don't do it. You don't change. It's not important enough for you to want to get to that next step.
Rule number 6, treat your money as a tool.
Most people grow up with an unhealthy view of money. Some people think that money is everything, that the next person you see, the next customer you talk to, that's your next suit, that's your next car. And other people think that money is the root of all, right? Or the love of money is the root of all evil, right? To make money, you're evil, you're slimy, you're gross, you're ripping people off. Most people grow up in one of those two camps. That's the lesson that's been taught you by your parents. The truth is money is just a tool. Money is an amazing tool that lets you accomplish amazing things. And if you are an entrepreneur and want to have success, making money has to be in your top 5 list of priorities. If it is not in your top 5, then you're not making money. But it can't be number 1. Money can't be your number 1 priority. There has to be something that is more important than it, and that's your purpose. I don't really usually talk a lot about money on my videos. Maybe I should. Maybe I should talk more about it. I think it's important. I think there's just so much out there that seems to be money, 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 money that I'm trying to go against it to say, like, purpose is number 1. You're built to serve. If you're just chasing money, you're never going to win. I think I see too many entrepreneurs just chasing money. And so a lot of the content that I make is more purpose driven, but there's still, I think, a lot of people who are purpose driven, who've started a business for the right reasons, and they don't know how to make money. And so maybe I need to switch up some of the content that I make as well to help change the perspective around money. My personal view is I hate spending money until I'm making money. I love making money. It's not number 1, right? Serving, believing entrepreneurs is number 1. But again, it's in the top 5 because if I didn't make money, I wouldn't have a team. I wouldn't have people to help me make this video. It'd be me by myself trying to put together one piece of content, a week or maybe a day, just, filming by myself. But instead I have this team of people who I'm super appreciative of, and I can afford that because I'm making money doing the business that I'm doing.
Rule number 7, do scary things.
Doing what you are afraid of is your path to success. Every time you take on something new that scares you, that pushes your comfort zone, that requires you to stretch, on the other side of that scary thing is the new you who is now capable of more. Most people, they shrink from scary things because they're scary. But if you want to win, if you want to hit your ambitious goals, then you have to teach yourself that you do scary things. So I recently came back from 2 pretty significant speaking gigs in my career as I'm building up and speaking on bigger stages. The first was when I was speaking at Brendan Burchard's event, and it's his Growth.com event. And Brendan, one of the greatest speakers in the world, invited me to come and talk to his group of a couple thousand people. And then I went to Ed Milet's event just recently in Whistler. And this is a smaller group, 100 so people, but they pay $60,000 a year to be a part of his program. And so they're coming to learn from the best. He sandwiched me between David Goggins and Peyton Manning. So it was David Goggins, and then me, and then Peyton Manning. That was the lineup. And so when I was backstage at the Brendan event, I remember moments before going on stage, I was the most scared that I'd been in a long time. The most nervous, the most anxious. I was afraid of disappointing people. My biggest fear is letting people down. My biggest fear is that I'm going to let Brendan down, and Dean Graziosi, who they both brought me there. And I was just going to suck on stage. That was my biggest fear. And so I had a mini panic attack backstage. 5 minutes before going up, I have this mini panic attack, and I'm forgetting what I'm going to say. I imagine myself going on stage and just blanking out. And I tell myself, I'm Evan Carmichael. I do difficult things. I love difficult things. if I don't do difficult things, I'm never going to accomplish great things. So I have to do difficult things. I love it. I thrive on difficult things. And then I remembered what I was going to say. And then I went out and I did my thing. And now when I went to Ed's event, I wasn't as nervous. I wasn't as afraid. I was still scared. I was still afraid of letting down Ed Milet, letting down Andy Frisella, who they both brought me there, being between David Goggins and Peyton Manning and just being outshone. Everybody knows them. They may not know me. All of it, all of the fears and doubts, but less than what I had at Brendan's event. Not because it wasn't as big a deal, but because I had just done it. Because speaking on stage to a couple thousand people at Brendan's event and having that panic attack and getting through it changed who I was. Made me stronger. Made me more capable of doing the next thing. And the next thing was Ed's thing. And so if I hadn't gone to Brendan's, I would be terrified going to Ed's thing. So every time you take on these difficult challenges, you might have the panic attack. You might have the anxiety inside you. You might have that little voice to say, you can't do it. What if you fail? What if you disappoint people? What if you lose respect? What if it doesn't work out? But you know what's worse? You know what's worse than going up and failing? Not trying. Not doing it. Finding some reason, finding some excuse to say you're sick, you're busy, you can't make it. But in the back of your head, you know you were just afraid. And the last thing you want to do is teach yourself that when you are afraid, that when you have an opportunity in front of you and you're afraid to do it, that you say no. You don't want to teach yourself that. You teach yourself the opposite. That when you're afraid, that when there's something in front of you that you want to do, but you're scared, you're anxious, you're worried about letting people down, that you jump in and you say, I'm all in because I do scary things.
Rule number 8, find your own balance.
Most people suck at creating work-life balance or harmony because you're constantly comparing what you're doing to other people's schedules. Of all the things that you need to figure out in life, what balance means to you is among the most important. Jeff Bezos jokes about optimizing his toothbrushing routine because he's trying to maximize his efficiency, while Warren Buffett reads for 5 to 6 hours every day. You can't do both. And you need to stop comparing yourself to someone who you're not. It's crazy how much balance and scheduling comes up. I think most people are lost. I think again, the biggest problem is you're just comparing yourself to other people and then you don't know where to stand. You don't know what rock to stand on, and so you feel like you're pulled in 1,000 different directions. When I went on my tour this year, and I'm sure it's gonna come up on the next one again, people kept asking, what does balance mean to you? How do I find balance in my life? And I used to joke, one of the funniest jokes that I told, and I'm not that funny, so this is one of the funny moments, was when I was talking about The Rock. And The Rock has his routine where he's working out for 4 hours a day. He has to work out for 4 hours a day. And so when he's doing his movies, he wakes up 5 hours before he has to be on set, and he'll work out for his 4 hours, and he'll do 2 times cardio and 2 times weights, and then go to his trailer, shower, and then head out to the movies. And he's only sleeping 4 to 5 hours a night when he's on set. I think that's crazy, but I don't look like The Rock. And that's when people would laugh, because I don't look like The Rock. But it's true. People will try to take on The Rock's schedule, but you have other priorities. What The Rock values isn't the same thing as you value. There may be some overlap and some similarities, and there's nothing wrong with trying on the hat. There's nothing wrong with attempting to do it. There's nothing wrong with seeing how it fits. Right? To get pieces, to say, hey, I'm going to try meditating, I'm going to try working out, I'm going to try making a video, I'm going to try morning pages, awesome, great, yes. But then to judge yourself to say, well, I'm not able to stay consistent on that, it's not what you should be doing. Because you want to work out 4 hours a day, and you want to read 5 hours a day like Warren Buffett, and you want to optimize your toothbrush routine like Jeff Bezos, and you want to do all these different things, but it's too many hours in a day. What you have to figure out is, how does balance look like for you? And then not be ashamed to go off and live it when everybody else thinks you're nuts.
Rule number 9, structure your life.
Most people never hit their goals because they don't structure their life towards actually accomplishing those goals. You can say that you want something. You can say that this is your ambition and your goal. But unless it's in your calendar, unless you start actually working towards it, you're never going to accomplish it. Dreams stay dreams because there is no momentum. Let's talk about how to get it. One of the common questions I get asked when I'm doing my live stream, when I'm doing my interviews, when I'm doing my tour, my stops, people almost always will ask me, how many hours sleep do you get? When you go to bed, when you get up, how much do you sleep every night? Right now, I'm sleeping 9 hours a day. I sleep 9 hours. I did a sleep study I was sleeping around 8 and was still tired when I woke up. And so I went and did an overnight sleep study, and they told me, I'm looking for the hack. I'm like, hey, you're deficient in magnesium, so just take these and you can sleep 7 and be normal. He said, no, nothing wrong with you. You just need to sleep 9 hours a night. That's healthy for you. It's like, what? That's healthy? Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Nobody sleeps 9 hours a night. It's like, yeah, between 6 and 10 is actually, that's the normal range. The whole 8 hours a night is a myth. So I felt bad, and I'm still trying to hack it. So I sleep 9 hours a night. I don't wake up to an alarm. And people assume that I'm only sleeping 3, 4, or 5 hours a night because of how productive I am during the day. This is it, right? You could sleep 12 hours a night and crush it in the other 12 hours. Most people default to thinking they need to wake up an hour early. Say, well, if I wake up at 5 a.m. or at 4 a.m., I'm going to be more productive. If you are not productive for 16 hours a day, then adding an extra hour to that's not going to make you that much more productive. The problem isn't what time you wake up. The problem is what you're doing with the hours that you're awake. And so as much as possible, what I try to do is make every second intentional. I'm not always able to achieve that, especially not every second, but I try to make everything intentional. I try to make where I'm spending time is intentional. I'm in the present. I'm not thinking about something else. I'm here with you guys making this video right now. All I think about is this video that I'm making for you right now. Where's Nina right now? I don't know. Where's my cell phone? Well, it's right here because I can see it. But where are my keys? I don't know. Where are my dogs? I don't know. What am I doing after this? I have no idea. I'm focused and I'm with you right now. Most people live in the past. Most people are thinking about what could have been. Most people are regretting the decisions that they made, and they're procrastinating because they're afraid of doing things, because they don't want to do things. All things that prevent you from actually doing. That's the biggest problem. You're a genius. You're the best in the world at something. You can go off and make amazing things. The problem is your time is not being used efficiently. It's not being used effectively either. You haven't structured your life to help you accomplish your goals. Look at your big goals. Look at your big goals. Like, what's the next big goal that you have for yourself? You may not have one. If you don't have one, then you got to figure out what your purpose is, because that's the greatest thing of all time, right? Get the book, Built to Serve. You'll figure it out. You'll be ignited. But your next big goal, now look at your calendar. Are you aligning what's in your calendar, your daily habits, towards you accomplishing your goals? And for most people, it's no. Or you have it listed, but you're not doing it because you look at it and you get afraid and you procrastinate on it. So trying to cut that down to almost zero. Even before making these videos, before making expressive videos, I have a couple minutes of procrastination. I go and make sure I get my water. I go and maybe have a keto bar, just pacing around a little bit because I'm nervous about making the videos because I want them to be the best videos that I've ever made. It's always my intention. But too many people live in hours or days or months of procrastination instead of doing it. You get the results by doing it. It's the only way. You will never get the results by just thinking about it. You can be motivated, amazing, you can have the mindset, awesome. That's half the equation. The other half is doing. You have to actually just go out there and do. You need to structure your life to allow you to accomplish your goals.
Rule number 10, stick to what you know.
The biggest mistake so many entrepreneurs make is they jump into a business because they see that it's a hot opportunity. You don't love it, you don't know much about it, but so many people are talking about it and it looks like an easy way to make a lot of money. Big mistake. Don't do that. It's the fastest way to go broke. So Warren Buffett did not invest in Amazon, but he's still done pretty well for himself. He didn't invest in Amazon because he doesn't like tech, he doesn't know it, he doesn't love it, he doesn't live in that space, and so he doesn't want to buy those kinds of companies. And great, he missed out on Amazon, but he also missed out on all the tech companies that didn't make it, that he could have put money into that just would have gone to zero. He knows what he's great at, he knows what he loves, and he sticks in his arena. I look at what I'm doing. There's so many opportunities that come my way that I know nothing about, I have no interest in, and don't want to have interest in, that I'm losing money on, right? I don't like real estate. I hate real estate. I don't want to be in it. I don't want to learn about it. I don't like real estate. It's not that it's not a good opportunity. It's just not for me. It's boring to me. I have zero interest in real estate. It's great for so many people. So many people have built amazing wealth and generational wealth based off of real estate. Amazing. I'm pumped for you. It's just not the thing that I want to be in. Cryptocurrency, right? People, when Bitcoin was taking off, everybody was a cryptocurrency expert. I know nothing about cryptocurrency. I've bought zero cryptocurrency in my life. I've been given zero cryptocurrency in my life. Is cryptocurrency the future? Yep. When is it going to come? I don't know. Is it going to be Bitcoin? I don't know. I don't know anything about cryptocurrency. I get the mechanics and the general theory, and I know that it's coming, but it's not the opportunity for me. CBD is a big thing now, right? Everybody's getting into CBD and CBD oils and CBD products, and great. And it's becoming legal here in Canada, or it already is legal in a bunch of our provinces, and it's going to be legalized across many states, if not the whole country. Awesome. It's not me. I'm not into CBD. I don't smoke any marijuana. I never have. I'm not interested in it. It may help you. It may alleviate your pain. Amazing. This may be the greatest gift you've ever seen in your life. Amazing. But if you're only jumping into it because you think it's a hot opportunity, you're going to lose. That being said, I'm also involved in so many things that are hot opportunities. I'm drowning in opportunities. I have too many opportunities that I know what to do with, let alone don't know what to do with. Looking at YouTube. YouTube right now is still a massive opportunity. There's so many people who look at what I've done, who look at what Gary've done and Grant Cardone and those guys have done, and say, I want to do it. YouTube is blowing up. It's popping. It's exploding. If you're a thought leader, if you want to have educational content, YouTube is still a huge opportunity. Most people who are the experts at what they do are not on YouTube. That means you can go on, even with a little bit less expertise, and go and crush it, because the people who are the best in the world at doing it, they're not doing it. It's a huge opportunity. It's a big white space still right now. Even though I've been on it for 10 years, YouTube has evolved a lot over the past decade, and there's still tons of white space open and available. I need to push that opportunity harder. I look at thought leadership as another one. Thought leadership, the stuff that I'm doing, the videos like this, the teaching that I've done, the workshops that I've done. People want to be a thought leader, not just an influencer, but a thought leader. And I'm at the center of that trend. I'm helping train a lot of thought leaders. People are coming to me asking me for help in becoming a thought leader, in making content, in being able to do good videos, in being able to get speaking gigs, book deals, all of it. People want it. It's happening. And I'm at the center of that trend too. League of Legends. I love League of Legends. I've been playing League of Legends for, this is 6 years. This is my 6th year playing League of Legends. I've played Teemo. Look, I got Teemo here. I got Teemo here. I got Tristana here. I've named my dogs Teemo and Tristana, right? I play 3 games a night on my Twitch stream. You can come to my Twitch stream, twitch.tv/BelieveTeam. Come join me. I play there 3 games a night. I'm trying to get the gold this season, which means I'm in the top 10% of players in North America. So it's my ambition for the year. I watch League of Legends every weekend. I have a TSM jersey. Let me get it. I have a TSM jersey. I'm a fan. I love League of Legends. I love esports. If you're getting into esports, just because it's a hot opportunity and you don't love it, you're gonna die, you're gonna lose. I look at Gary Vee as an example, and Gary's done an amazing job in hip hop. An amazing job in hip hop, and he's brought so many different artists on, from the top of Nipsey Hussle all the way down to people who are just breaking in and trying to get their start. He loves hip hop, he loves the lyrics, he loves the culture, and so he's really built a name for himself inside of hip hop. He got into Twitch a little bit. He had a Twitch studio set up in his office, and he started doing a little bit of gaming, but he's not a gamer. He hasn't done gaming in decades. And so it's not authentic for him, and so he's not gonna win there. I love esports. I love League of Legends. I love gaming. It's part of what I do. I can talk to you about the current roster for TSM and my thoughts on it. I can talk to you about the new patch that came out on League of Legends and how Teemo's doing. I like it. It's just, I genuinely like it. And so I have these opportunities in front of me already within YouTube, within thought leadership, within esports that I can take advantage of and blow up in. And I don't need to worry about real estate and cryptocurrency and CBD and all the other millions of opportunities out there. There's already tons of opportunities inside the things that you already know and love. The things that you know and love, there's lots of people who know and love that thing too. And they're looking for guidance. They're looking for help. They need answers. You could be the person who gives them the answers. Jumping on some train because you think it's a hot opportunity and a chance to make money is the fastest way that you will lose money, because you don't understand anything about that. If you don't love esports, don't go spend money on an esports team. You're gonna lose. You don't even know what you're doing. Inside the things that you love and know is a tremendous opportunity, and that's what you need to focus on.
Now I've got a very special bonus clip on raise your environment that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. What is that one scary thing that you need to do today? Please leave in the comment below. And if you made it this far in the video and you promise to take action, after watching. We don't just watch video, we do something. I want to celebrate you. Give me a hashtag believe in the comment below.
You are a product of your environment. The people you hang out with, the videos you watch, where you spend your time, you are a perfect reflection of your environment. If you want to change your standards, if you want to achieve bigger things, if that dream of yours that you have in your mind, you want to build momentum towards, it starts with raising your environment. So a longtime supporter of Believe Nation and community, Posh Notions, messaged me on Twitch while I was doing my live stream saying she wanted to quit smoking. Every day, during the week at least, I play League of Legends. I'm trying to get to gold. It's my ambition to hit gold this season. If you want to follow me, go to twitch.tv/BelieveTeam. It's right here. You can go join me. And so she joined one of my live streams and she said, I want to quit smoking. I'm tired of smoking. I cut sugar out of my life. I cut a whole bunch of medications out of my life, but I can't quit smoking. I've been smoking my whole adult life. I asked her how much does she smoke? 15 packs. Sorry, not 15 packs. That's insane. 15 cigarettes a day. And she wants to quit smoking. And she said it's really hard because her husband smokes, because she has nobody around her to support her, because her environment has been created to facilitate the smoking. She's tied her identity to smoking. There's always cigarettes in the house. Everybody around her is smoking. Nobody successfully quit. And so she feels like she's all alone doing this. That's really hard. That makes it really hard. It's not impossible, but it makes it really hard. And so she started by coming to my Twitch stream, right? And I've met her once. She came on my tour when I did my tour last year. I met her and we connected at my workshop. And ever since then, she's come on and been involved in my live chats. And so she decided that she has to make a change. And it's going to start by coming to my Twitch stream and telling me this new ambition of hers. Amazing. First thing you need to do is use this energy and don't smoke as much tomorrow. And so she went from 15 cigarettes a day. She came back the next day and said, hey, Posh, welcome back to the live stream. And on my Twitch right now, you get like 10 people at a time. It's super low numbers. So if you want the one-on-one attention, come to the Twitch stream. I asked, how you doing? And she said, amazing. I went down to 6.5 a day. So she went from 15 every day for her, adult life to now to 6.5 a day. It's amazing. Great. Next day, we got to do more. We got to cut back. And now we need to change your environment. And so she's created this ecosystem now for her where she's coming onto my Twitch stream every night and giving updates. I connected her to Alex on my team who runs Toronto Dance Salsa because he went from thinking he couldn't quit smoking to getting rid of it and cutting it out of his life. She started thinking about what is her goal? What is her ambition that smoking is preventing her from doing? She wants to speak on stage. She wants to be the next Rachel Hollis. You need to have energy to do that. Smoking is preventing you from doing it. She's telling the other coaches in her life, the people around her, virtual mentors, she's telling everybody around her that she wants to do this. She's starting to change her environment. I told her to go and you love Rachel Hollis? You want to have that energy? You want to be on stage speaking? You see Rachel running across the stage. You can't do that if you're smoking back 15 cigarettes a day. So I told her, get a picture of Rachel Hollis and put it on your wall and watch her videos every day or read her book every day and consume a little bit of her, whether it's on Instagram or podcast or anything, every day. Change your environment so that you have people and resources and connections that are pulling you up. She went from being totally alone, feeling like nobody supports her, having zero systems around her, having people around her who are doing the bad habits that she wants to quit, to now having me, and having Lily, and having Dave Meltzer, and having Alex, and having Rachel Hollis from afar, and having all of these resources and people and community, Believe Nation, cheering you on. If you want to change your standards, it starts by changing your environment.
If you want to watch another top 10 rules of Evan Carmichael, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. I will see you there, guys. Continue to believe. Bye.